Hi, I'm Andy Webb from BeCleverWithYourCash.com. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now in this video I want to take you through what I think are the best value for money sites to help you watch movies at home. So I love movies. One of my favourite things is to watch a film. Often I'll go to the cinema to do that, but I don't always have the time. There's so many films out there that you possibly can watch, so I'm often watching them at home, and I'm often streaming them rather than, I don't buy DVDs anymore or Blu-rays. Generally I'll stream something just the once, just the twice. I rarely watch films again and again and again. And that's what I'm going to talk about now, I guess, is how you can stream a movie over your broadband into your home, all those different services, and take you through the pros and the cons for each of them to help you decide which ones are going to give you the best value for money. And it is going to vary depending on your movie habits, your viewing habits. So for example, how many are you going to watch every month? Are you a big watcher or is it just occasional? How soon do you want to watch the movie? Are you waiting for it as soon as it becomes available at home? You want to watch it, or are you happy to wait a little bit longer? And finally, another thing to think about, and I'll go through all these in a minute, are you already paying for some services? Do you already have some ways to watch lots of movies at home? Because obviously it's a silly thing to pay for something when you don't need to. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to just take you through some of these services. I'm going to start with the rental one. So this is again to talk about if you want to watch a movie really as soon as it comes out at home, you don't want to wait, then your main option here is to rent it. In a case we don't really have any video shops anymore, you can go to the library. There is still a postal service called Cinema Paradiso, so you might want to check that out. You get DVDs and Blu-ray sent through the post, but most of us, we are streaming them online and watching them from our TVs, from a smart TV or a smart box or whatever it might be. Now one of the big ones, which I think a lot of people use, is Sky Store. Very simple. If you've got a Sky box, you just scroll through, hit, and you want to pay for it, and often that gets charged straight to your Sky bill. Now that's really convenient, and I think a lot of people probably watch films that way. For me, there are two major problems with Sky Store. The first one is the price. To rent a movie, a brand new release, again I'm going to focus on that rather than older movies on these rental ones. To rent a new movie, it's going to cost you £5.49. Now you might think, that's how much a movie costs, isn't it? Well, as I'll share with you in a minute, it doesn't have to be. You can save £1, if not £2, on all your movie rentals by getting them elsewhere. And not only that, paying £5.49 for this rental with Sky Store, you're actually only getting standard definition quality. So that's you're paying more than all the other services, and as I'll show you, you're getting a lower quality. So I think just avoid Sky Store. That is a big thumbs down. That is a bad way to rent a movie, because it's going to cost you more and you're going to get lower quality. It's just not, there's no win there unless you've maybe got a free voucher. I've had a few of those in the past through different things. So then, well, it's a free voucher, you've got to use it, haven't you? But otherwise, I would steer clear. You can actually use your Nectar points to transfer them for a £5.50 voucher to watch a movie. But again, you're better off using those points for the same value in Sainsbury's, because you can get, as I say, these cheaper rentals elsewhere. So one of those places that you might want to go to, again, another big popular one, is Google Play. Huge library of films that you can watch on there, get all the new releases, you can rent them. Now they start at £3.50 for a standard definition film, then it tends to go up to £4.49 for HD, maybe £4.99 for 4K, sometimes £5.49 for 4K. And those prices are kind of pretty standard across the other services that I'll talk about. The thing about Google Play, I guess it doesn't really matter what service, who you're with. You can generally get the app for lots of different places to watch that on your smart TV. So that's a pretty good pro for that. Similarly, Amazon, you don't need to be a Prime member to rent a movie. You can just have an account, go in, and you'll pay a similar price for all of the recent releases on there. But if you are an Amazon Prime member, which you pay a monthly or annual subscription for, then there are some new releases at £1.99 a month. It's well worth looking for those deals to bring down the price of your Amazon rental of a movie. And again, Amazon, I think it's a good one to go for if you use it. One little thing is the headline price tends to be the HD price. So it'll tell you £4.49 to rent, but if you click a little button that says you show me more purchase options, then it should hopefully in most cases show you standard definition for £3.49. Now they get the same price at for most of the rentals at two other services, Rakuten and Chili. I'll start with Rakuten because you might have heard of that one. You might have used that because a few years ago there were lots of freebies, lots of ways to get free rentals and cheap rentals from those guys. It's a big Spanish streaming service, and again they have a lot of the big titles there. There are less of these deals to bring the price down even further. But one that I do use kind of quite regularly is to take out over a free 30-day trial or 3-month for £3 trial with the Times newspaper. They have a digital partnership, reward scheme, actually not a partnership, called Times Plus. Various benefits in there. You get 2-for-1 Odeon tickets at weekends. You get a free ebook every month from Amazon. But you can also get 350 points to spend at Rakuten on a movie rental. So that essentially at 350 points is worth £3.50. So you get a free standard definition rental every single month. Now, if you take out that 30-day free trial over 2 months, well, then you're getting 2 movies for your free trial. Likewise, if you can spread the 3-month trial over 4 months, then you get 4 movies for £3. Those offers don't run all the time, so do check what the special offer is when you sign up, and make sure you cancel it well in advance so you don't get charged the full price. But again, a great way to bring the price down, which is why I actually tend to use Rakuten quite a lot for my rentals. One problem with Rakuten, which I've noticed more than the other services, is that sometimes it will say there isn't a standard definition version. So it will push you up to HD at £4.50 or even 4K at £4.99. So do watch out for that. In fact, you should shop around because if that does happen, if you find a movie isn't available at one of the lower prices, shop around because one of the other services may well have it for less. And I did find that quite often I'm able to find pretty much most new releases right now. I found them for less on one of the services, if not all of them, obviously apart from Sky Store, which is so expensive. So one more I want to tell you about is called Chili. Now this one came out, it's relatively new, maybe the last sort of year, 18 months, something like that. Of course, depends when you're watching this, could be longer now. But because it's new, it's been heavily pushing its services and been running lots and lots of special offers. So although I say already rentals are £3.50, £4.50, if you're depending between standard definition and high definition, there are loads and loads of deals to bring that price down. And they're not always available, but there is something you can do to bring down the price. So a couple of times this year, I've managed to get a £10 voucher from Groupon for under £5 using different codes, which also came with a free Odeon ticket. So let's say you're paying £5 for the cinema ticket, then you've got £10 of free credit. So basically all those rentals are going to be essentially free, which is fantastic. There are often codes as well to give you 50% off or flash sales where a movie is 90p, and sometimes you can combine those offers. So in that sense, it's a really good one, and probably is the way to get the cheapest rentals out there right now, as long as you hit the timing well. The downside is that it is available on less services in terms of making it smart. So it's on my Samsung TV, but it is not on my Roku stick, for example. So it is a little bit harder to get that on your TV. But of course, if you've got a laptop and a cable, then you can plug it into an HDMI at the back and all those services, then you can easily watch on your TV. Now, you might have noticed I didn't talk about iTunes there. That's because, again, iTunes, although it does have prices of HD films around £4.50, going up to that £5.50, as all the other services do, it has less standard definition options. I'm not saying you can't get a standard definition movie on there for £3.50, but when I had a look, there was only one of the kind of most recent 20 big releases that was available in standard definition. So that's why I would use one of those other 4 services instead, because you're more likely to get a film for less on one of these rentals. Now, again, it depends how many of these films you're going to watch every month as well. If you are going to watch a lot of them and you're willing to wait, then sometimes it's well worth getting a different service, a subscription service later on. Now, again, there are 3 main ones here to go through. The first one I'll talk about is Netflix. Now, a lot of you will have Netflix already and you'll know the service. It has 3 different price options. The middle one at $8.99 is generally the most popular, so $8.99 every single month. Very, very, very difficult to get any extra discounts off that. So that's pretty much what you'll be paying. And for that, you'll get HD movies and you'll get the ability to watch it on more than one screen at the same time. The price below that, you get it in standard definition, but you can only watch it on one screen. Now, what's good about Netflix is there's a huge variety of things there. So not just the movies, but you get loads of TV programs as well, and some very good TV programs. So you're never going to be short of something to watch, whether it's a TV or a film. Obviously, focusing here on movies and actually having a look at what's on there right now, I think it's got a pretty good back catalogue of older movies. In terms of new releases, then that gets a kind of a mixed review here, because although it does have some of the more recent releases, again, these are all going to be after that initial home rental service comes out, you don't get as many there, but it's not bad at all. What you do get, which is pretty good, is the fact that Netflix has been putting a lot of money into producing its own movies or acquiring movies Sometimes these are big things which comes from the cinema and then they go almost weeks later, they're available on Netflix, and there are some big titles there. They tend to be, at least the good ones, tend to be sort of real critically acclaimed ones. So Martin Scorsese's The Irishman's on there. You've got one called Marriage Story from Noah Baumbach. These are Oscar contenders. They're kind of big, but they are good movies. Last year they had a movie from the Coen brothers. Again, it was limited just on Netflix. So if you're a big film fan, then Netflix is a place to get to see some really good movies, some well-regarded movies, particularly if you didn't get a chance to see them at the cinema. And they will be the only place to watch them. The flip side, they do also have a lot of kind of comedies and other kind of genre sort of films, which are again just on Netflix. Maybe don't get as good reviews, but if they're your kind of movies, it's well worth checking out. So I think for that $8.99 a month, it's really good value because you will find something you want to watch. The downside is it might not have everything you want to watch because once they go from that home rental period, they get split across the other services. So the next one is Amazon Prime. Now, I think there's a good chance you might already have Amazon Prime for the other Amazon-y type services. And if you use those other services, then I think it's quite good value. In terms of paying $7.99 a month or £79 a year just for the movies, I think, again, that's too much money. Although, like Netflix, Amazon is putting a lot of money into either acquiring or making its own original movies, and there are some good ones on there to check out. It's not something you would want on an ongoing basis. I think perhaps it's something you could, every now and again, twice a year or something like that, maybe pay £8 and blitz through those movies you want to watch. And often those are going to be the ones, I imagine, those kind of specials which they've got just on Amazon and not available elsewhere. The back catalogue is a bit mixed. I wouldn't say there will always be things you want to watch, but for me personally, I found Netflix had a much better back catalogue, a much more varied and sort of deeper and a better quality of movies as well. Some good movies on there, but the only way to tell really is to go online and look at them both and see if there's things you want to see. Now the final one is from Now TV, and this is the Cinema Pass. Essentially, it's Sky Cinema. So if you pay every month for movies at Sky, stop, don't do that, you're spending too much money. You can get exactly the same movies for $11.99 a month via Now TV. Exactly the same channels if you want to watch them live, or you can watch them on demand at any time you want to watch them. Now the pros for Sky Cinema on Now TV is the fact that you will get a broad range of those newish releases because they get a lot of the studios, once they've after that rental period, the vast majority of them will be on Now TV. So you can wait and you can watch lots of movies. And if you are someone who watches a lot, then paying that $11.99 a month for 1 month or 2 months might not be a bad thing. You might be able to get really good value for money if you watch loads. Now, if you're someone who only watches 2 or 3 movies a month, I'd go as far as say if you only watch sort of 4 or 5 movies, then I think that $11.99 is too expensive, far too expensive. Because what you find is that although there's a decent back catalogue of movies, and they promise a new release every single day, a lot of the time, those new releases are awful. They're really bad. We used to have straight to video, didn't we? Then straight to DVD, and now you get straight to VOD, video on demand. These didn't get a cinema release, and frankly, they are bad movies. Now there are big releases. You do get, as I say, the big releases. They tend to be sort of around the weekends, so Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday. So potentially you will still get some big new releases for you to watch every single month. But chances are you might have seen some of them at the cinema, or you might not fancy some of those movies. So although there's a lot of choice in terms of older movies, in terms of new titles, I think it can be a bit restrictive for the price when you compare it to how much you could be paying on Amazon or Netflix, or again, if you're not a huge movie watcher, if you're only watching 2 or 3 movies every month, you could pay the same amount of money, you could pay less in fact if you take advantage of those deals and watch them and rent those movies. 3 or 4 movies I think you could easily rent using those special deals, particularly if you standard definition, for the same price as getting a month of Now TV. Now, of course, again, there are ways, unlike with Amazon Prime and Netflix, you can reduce that monthly price on Now TV. New subscribers can often get special offers to bring the price down. And there are often ways to buy passes separately. So rather than going to the Now TV website, buying a pass separately, a gift card perhaps, or buying it with a Now TV stick, which brings the price down. And if you have Now TV Cinemas Pass and go to cancel it, often they'll give you a deal to keep you going. But if you're not watching the movies, even £5, £7, £8 a month, I don't think it's worth paying for. If you are, fantastic. Take advantage of that and save some cash. Now, very quickly, a couple of ways you can avoid paying anything at all to watch some movies online. Now, this isn't going to be new releases in the bulk of the time, but it is going to be free, so why not? BBC iPlayer, you might not realise that a lot of the films the BBC shows, they then put it on iPlayer for a certain number of weeks. So there's always a selection of movies you can look at. All 4 does the same thing for movies on Film 4, although you do get advert breaks throughout the movie, which I personally find a bit annoying. And Rakuten has a handful of free movies, although the selection is pretty poor. But you probably find 1 or 2 movies that you maybe haven't seen or you want to see again. But again, all of these, they're going to be older services. And in terms of free trials, well, you're only going to get a free trial now with Amazon if you've never used Prime before. You get 30 days. Remember to cancel it, obviously, if you don't want to carry on paying. But Netflix has scrapped its 30-day free trial. And Now TV used to do 30, then it did 14, then it did 7, and now TV doesn't do any free trials for its cinema pass at all. And actually, what I should also point out there on Now TV, which I didn't mention, was it is just movies that are $11.99 a month. If you want the entertainment pass or the kids pass or sports passes, that's all extras that you add on top. Whereas Netflix and Amazon, you're paying one price per month and you're getting all of the programs that they've got on there, all the movies and the TV shows, and in Amazon's case now, sport as well. So hopefully that's helped you choose where you're going to watch your next movie. My big takeaway though from all of this is to not use Sky Store. But from all the others, have a look at the links in the show notes below the video, and it will take you through to more information about the deals, the latest offers, so you can bring down the price, and also kind of other ways to kind of help you work out which one is the best service for you to watch your movies. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell to make sure you get told whenever I've got a new video released. Until next time, cheers.